down.
Hey everybody, it's Patty Dobrovolsky with Up Your Creative Genius and Creative Genius U, the equation that makes you great. Okay, here we are, week 16, drive. This is the last part of the equation before we get to outcome, to the infinite power. Drive is really, when you think of desire is like the fuel underneath it, but drive is the sweat equity. That's you, that's that elbow grease, that's you out there, wax on, wax off, really. It's you with your brush and your pen and your paper. It's you late nights writing the content. It's you coming up and rehearsing the talk you want to give. It's you coming up with all of the ways that you can empower your team and then putting them into action. Drive is really a combination of your belief and all of the ways that you will step into making that a reality. And drive shows up in so many different ways, and it has so many different outcomes to it, right? So when you start to take action, it will impact you and how you start to show up. When you start to become and step into the person that you've envisioned with that new dream, you have to let go of all the old beliefs that you had in the past about yourself. Other friends of yours may not be able to hang with you anymore, and you might need to shed a few skins when you're getting there. And if you think about somebody like Justin Bieber, right, who flew into fame really at this rapid pace, it was like an overnight success. And then you saw him for a while. He couldn't get it together. He sort of fell apart. He disappeared. He started doing drugs. He did all these kind of things and then tattooed his whole body. But one of the things that you saw was him have to kind of integrate that new learning into who he was to grow into that new elevated space that he was living in. Now, fame might not be an important thing to you, but knowing that you're going to need to occupy a new space and a mindset that matches is really critical. So reviewing and understanding what kind of actions it will take to get to that goal helps. And if you are a planner, which some of you may not be, but planning is essential when you want to close the chasm between where you are now and where you're going. You can have that vision, but you've got to be able to take action steps, small steps, every single week to get there. Or you can fall off the track. Trust me, when I was writing my first book, I took a 1-year detour. It took me a long time to get back on track. And I was just watching the Tour de France, and there was a guy on a tightrope that was walking across this huge, expansive chasm, this canyon. And I was like, oh my God. He had a guide wire on, but I'm telling you, it was windy, it was huge, it was a long drop, and no matter what, you have to have the courage to achieve that goal. So one of the ways to keep your courage up is to celebrate and continue to take action. So I suggest that you review your action steps all the time. And you figure out, what do you think you need to do to move yourself forward this week, this month, these 3 months in a quarterly fashion. And then put them into some kind of matrix so you understand the impact and the effort and what you're going to get out of it. Because we'll come up with and brainstorm a lot of drivelly actions, and then we get sidetracked by some of them that aren't going to move us forward. So you want to have some kind of way of ranking them for yourself and knowing what's the priority. And then once you have them, put them into your calendar and start to knock them out. And really, I got as clear as even putting it in the times. Now, I'm not a structured person in this way, but I found that my best time to work was in the morning. So if I put all the really thought-provoking things that I needed to think a lot about and brainstorm with and come up with good ideas in the morning, and then afternoon stuff could be meetings and all of the drivelly email that you might have to answer. Not all emails drivelly, don't get me wrong. But I want you to think about it in that way. Create a structure that will work for you, because drive is really what will get you across the finish line. So here's your mission should you choose to accept it for this week. I want you to review where you are in terms of this vision and where you want to go. So, and ask yourself these things, because these are some elements of achieving your vision that will really help. One is belief. Do you really believe it's going to happen? Do you really have the belief and confidence in yourself that you can do it? Check box, or if not, work on it. 2, vision. Are you clear about your vision, where you're going, and what it will look like? Have you taken the time to daydream that and imagine it so that you're using that creative genius equation to really formulate that vision as it evolves? 3rd, what's your purpose? What's the why? What's the whole reason that you're doing it? You know, is it for your ego? Is it for others? And remember, I was talking about how important service is in the drive element. So think about your purpose here again, revisit it, and then your plan. How robust is that plan of yours? Don't be afraid of using a big whiteboard or a spreadsheet if you prefer, but do something to organize yourself so that you can have a checklist and check it off. And the last thing, commitment. You got to really raise the bar on commitment. And I sometimes, if I'm going to do a project, I'll make a purpose statement. I'll make a really problem I'm solving, and then I'm going to make a commitment to achieve that goal, because I know when I put my signature on a piece of paper, it will happen. So these are the things to help you this week, to get you going. All right, this is going to be a fantastic week. I can't wait to see what you do. Let's do this. Patty Dobrovolsky, up your creative genius. Let's go.